Okay, I'm back with a new video. This time, I'm not discussing FNAF lore. This is a purely one for me. Also, I'm sorry, the angle's awful. You're resting on my computer. Oh, that's much better. Maybe, I don't know. Also, using my phone camera, so I'm glowing for some, why? Anywho, um, as I do for many hours, I was on TikTok. I saw it was a TikTok of like Japan, and it was just a very maybe aesthetic's not the right word, but just a very calming, relaxing video of just a woman walking around. And then there's a train system, and people were like, Japan is a very pedestrian friendly city, which is a city, Japan, country, where it's like most people use public transport or walk. Very few people, have cars, which I think is great. Sorry, I have 17 tabs open. I just have to close them. Oh no. Okay. Anyways, so yeah, and I've just been thinking, cities need better public transportation. One, better for the environment, just as a whole, taking the metro. Well, subway, I get in Montreal we call it the metro. I don't know if they call it that anywhere else, but whatever. Like, the metro takes an enormous amount of energy, and I'm not negating that because it's true, but unlike a car, it's not using like fuel. I think our metros in Montreal might be powered by hydroelectricity. I'm not sure. I'm in Quebec with the largest like hydroelectricity reservoir ever. So I think I would assume it's powered by that. I don't know though, so we're coming out on that. But anyways, I also just think cities, since maybe not since, but with the invention of the car, have started being built around how easy it is for a car to get around as opposed to how easy it is for a person to get around. So things are just so far away from each other because who cares? You can just drive. It'll be a 15-minute drive, but then like an hour, minute walk because of how difficult it would be to get there. And that's like, that's so backwards. And I know it's just because people just started buying cars and they needed to make space for them. But like, I'm also not saying for everyone to get rid of their car. That would cause an insane amount of trash. Maybe not trash, but like landfills of just cars. I do agree people should just use their car until it's dead and then, get their new car. Or don't get a car and walk. I don't know. But when it comes to the, what's it called? Public transit system, here in Montreal, we have the train and we have the metro and we have buses and we have a new thing that's coming called the tram or whatever. It's like an above ground thing. Interesting, I guess. Many ways to get around. Oh, and we also have like the Bixi bike system, which is like bikes that there's like stations around the city, and you, with like an app or a card, or your Opus card, which is like your public transit card, you just tap it, get a bike to wherever. There'll usually be a stand there, and then you can just put the bike there and whatever. It's super helpful. I think we need to improve our bus system, like insane amount, because Montreal buses are notorious for never being on time, like ever. But I think primarily we should be focusing on the metro system, expanding it. It's maybe not an underrated or underused system, but I do think, because millions of people use it every day, but like it is incredibly, for how old it is, underdeveloped. There's 4 lines. The biggest one is the orange, the smallest one is the yellow, but like there's a huge section where there's just nothing. And maybe they can't build out I'm assuming they just physically can't build out metros to the suburbs, which is why we have the train system, which is fine because that makes sense, because there'll be train systems at specific metro places. But like there's This place is in Saint Laurent. Saint Laurent has 2 metro stations, which is enough. But then there's places, there's boroughs in Montreal that just don't have a metro station. That you need to go to another one and then take a bus and then, oh my goodness, it's exhausting. So expand that. It's scientifically proven that being surrounded by greenery and trees, nature, is a vast improvement to people's mental well-being as well as just their physical well-being. So that's why New York to me just appears so depressing, because it's so concrete, which in its own way is nice to look at, but living there, Montreal's not any better. Our main street, which is St. Catherine, that's the one that everything's on, is incredibly depressing to look at. In the summer, it's nice. In the winter, oh my god, don't even bother going downtown unless you work there. Then that's whatever. But wow, it becomes gray. But so does Canada in the winter. But having parts of roads and stuff that are just completely inaccessible to cars is a beautiful thing. You go to old Montreal and there's the old cobblestone streets from the one that used to just be Montreal. And there's the old buildings, and then there's they're streets made for people and carriages, because that's what was on them, and not cars. It's such a beautiful place to walk, and you're just why isn't this everywhere? Why can't I experience this in every place? And it's I don't know why you can't. You should be able to. And then I don't know. I don't even know if Montreal's the best example, because we're a small city for the amount of people that live here. But then there's places like Toronto. Toronto is vast. It's huge compared to where I live. Oy, my god. But it's bland. Sorry if you live in Toronto, but your city is bland. There's nothing there. Montreal has its own very unique sense of architecture, because it has a very unique history of just fucking takeover after takeover. Oh, the French takeover from the indigenous people living. Takeover is a very light word here, but I'll just use it. And then the English come, and then just fighting, and then, whatever. It created a very special place. But Toronto never really, as far as I know, really experienced that. I mean, definitely ripped away from the indigenous people living there, but there was no French influence. So a lot of what it is very reminiscent of an American city, And I think that's boring. We have America for American cities. Canada should represent should be nicer. Just be nicer in general. Not even represent Canadian cities. Just be cute. I just want cities to be cute. But I don't even know where I'm going with this. I'm just talking. That's what this is. It's me speaking. Deal with it. No. What was I saying? Right. Cities should be made for humans. And also, this is very specifically to New York, but even downtown Montreal, buildings are so massive, which at a ground level is kind of fun to look at, because you're staring up at buildings and you're oh my god, how the fuck did we make this? But also incredibly daunting and evil to look at. Does that make sense? In Montreal, we have a law where you can't build past the cross that's on top of Mount Royal. Mount Royal is the namesake for Montreal, if you didn't know. And there's a big cross on it. It's kind of stupid looking, to be honest. I think it's ugly. Not because it's a cross, but just the way it's made is ugly. Could they not have picked a better design? Or, put a cooler religion up there. Put the Star of David on top of Mount Royal. It's completely, overturns, years of... Anyways. That's a lot. And then there was, I think it was mayor, or a guy that wanted to be mayor, I can't really remember. He wanted to get rid of that, and he wanted to be like, no, you can build past it. But then we'd have like these massive buildings, and like the nicest part is that if you go to the top of Mount Royal, is that you can see the whole city. You know, it's like I look down. It's not so much like, oh, there's things blocking my view, which I think is really cool. So I think there's like a similar law in France, in Paris. I'm not saying it's with a cross on a mountain, but I think there is a height limit to their buildings, which when you look at them is beautiful. Okay? There's that one building that's like super modern and ugly, and people are like, the best view of Paris is at the top of that building because you can't see it, which I think is really funny. But like I'm not saying Montreal's Paris, but like looking at those buildings and seeing them be like normal heights and you know, sort of all symmetrical and just lovely to look at. Like, I don't know. And I'm gonna get out of Europe because I watch a lot of K-dramas, which not in like a weird way, in like a this is just what I watch. And there's a lot of the time you see characters just walking places, and I'm like, what? Why aren't they catching the bus, or why aren't they, you know, on an underground system? But for the most part, they can just walk places, and you see like their roads. There's like no way you can fit a car in there, so they're obviously like not made for cars, and then you see like, I don't know. And then there's like high school students, like obviously anime is not like an accurate portrayal of Japanese school life. I'm not saying that it is, but it is somewhat of a mirror of, you know, life, the same way like Riverdale doesn't accurately present American high school life, but it is like, oh, somewhat of the, you know, experience, I guess. Anyways, but then you see like students just like walking places, and I'm like, you can just walk to school. That's beautiful. My fault for picking a school that's really far from my house, but damn. Anyway, I just think, I don't know. And also, it's really hard to like, okay, sorry, my phone ran out of storage, so it cut me off rudely. Don't know what I was saying because I just spent the last like 20 minutes deleting things from my phone. Anyways, but yeah, it's hard to live in a city that is not made for you as a person. Not even just like who you are, but just like as like an actual being. Like, it's not made for you. Like, that city is made for little boxes, little vroom boxes, which sucks. Although, since now I've lost my train of thought from before, I guess that's really it. I don't think I have much to say else. So yeah, I guess I'll end this video here. Remember, like, subscribe, and comment what you want me to talk about next, because I probably won't, because I only really talk about what I want to talk about in the moment, because that's how my little brain works. Although if you say something super interesting, I'll start talking about it, because these videos, by the way, are just me, because I talk to myself a lot, and I always have, but usually it's to a mirror or my wall. Now I'm just filming them and posting them online because I'm crazy and I want people to react to it because I think it's funny, even though it might not be. Like, I don't think this is, I mean, I think I'm funny, but I don't think people would find me funny, like, reading it. I still don't like my nail. It's really long for no reason. So yeah. So if you post something, if you comment something really interesting, that'll spark a little debate in my brain, and I'll be able to like film it for fun. And I guess I'll mention your comment or something, but I don't know. Yes. So remember, do that, because if I don't get enough motivation from this, I won't do it. I'm just kidding. I will. I'm an attention seeker. I will do it forever, even if it's just 3 people who watch it, because I think it's beautiful. Also, if there's another series that you want me to discuss the lore of, even though I haven't really watched it, like another one I'm planning is the Vampire Diaries, because that's, oh my god, that's the most complicated lore, but it would only specifically be about the Vampire Diaries because I haven't seen the originals yet and I haven't seen Legacies yet, but I'll get on that. I'll do that. Twilight, I can discuss Twilight for hours. Percy Jackson I could do, and I could do all of them, every single one, except King Chronicles. I wouldn't be able to talk about that. I haven't read them. I'm sorry. Or Magnus Chase. I've only read the first one, and barely. I could do I couldn't do Harry Potter, so I could discuss why I don't like Harry Potter, if that's something people want to see, which I'll probably do that anyways, even if you don't want to see it, because I think it's funny why I don't like it. It's not like I hate all of it, I just hate a large amount of it. I could do the Mortal Instruments. Oh my god, please let me talk about the Mortal Instruments. Maybe not the actual Mortal Instruments, but the Infernal Devices. I could talk about that for hours. This could just become a booktube. Oh my god. Maybe not. I don't want to become that person. Ask about anything. Anime I'm watching, life updates. I'm gonna do a bunch of stuff on here because I think it's really fun. Also, if you see my other videos, I don't even know if they're published to the public. They might be. They're school projects. Don't watch them. Don't do anything with them. They're not for public consumption, and I don't know why I made them public, but I think it's really funny if you just see like an ethics PSA. It's just, it doesn't make any sense because then there's like, it's like Freddy Fazballs and then ethics PSA. I just think that looks really funny. Also, this was supposed to be an outro and now I'm just talking. I'm back to talking. Yes! I don't know. How's your life? I had COVID. It sucked, I guess. Like, it didn't really change anything. I don't leave the house, so it was fine. That's a little Christmas tree that that my mom got from IKEA. Go buy one. They're amazing. They're beautiful. Go buy those gnomes. I really want one of those gnomes. I almost stole one. I didn't. I had to hold myself in. That's a little Hello Kitty from Miniso that my friend got me for my birthday, and I love it dearly. I don't know. Just put stuff and I'll talk about it. If I know what it is. If I don't know what it is, you'll have to talk about it and then I'll watch it and then I'll talk about it. I'm kidding. But if there's like a show or a book and I know enough about it, we'll discuss it. Next thing though is Vampire Diaries. That's gonna be my next lore one. I just need to, because the FNAF lore is really easy to talk about off your head because it's actually like a continuational story. Like it starts and ends. Maybe it's not easy to talk about timeline wise, but like it is, you just say shit and it makes sense, you know? Vampire Diaries, I need like a script. I didn't make a script for that one and it shows like I didn't do for this because these are supposed to just be ramblings, but I'll make like a bullet point list for the other one for the Vampire Diaries because it's 8 seasons of unfiltered shit and I need to remember what things are. I'll just say season 3 is my favorite. I know a lot of people say after season 1, it went downhill. I disagree. I think season 3 is really good. I don't really know what season 3 is about. I can't remember. The season with the heretics, the season with Kai and Josie and them, I think that's a really good season. I didn't like the first season. Sorry. I didn't like the last season. I didn't like any of the siren stuff. I didn't like a lot of other things. There's a lot I didn't like. The werewolf stuff, boring. I really liked Klaus and the originals. Maybe that was part of season 1. So maybe I didn't hate season 1. But I did. Season 2 was good. Season 3, season 4. Season 5 got boring. Season 6 was a bit boring. Season 7 a bit boring. Season 8 sucked. Season 8 sucked big time. Yeah. I think, to be honest, I did like it when they were at, and this is just gonna become, sorry, I have to stop talking because this is gonna become Twilight, but Vampire Diaries, but I guess it'll be a little bit of a prelude to the next installment of this account. I like it when they're in CEGEP. Sorry, Quebec and brain. When they're in college, because I feel like they're more mature. Not that they were childish in high school, but like, you know, there's more can be done in college, and I don't know why more movies don't take advantage of that, and they always place teenagers in weird situations instead of just aging them and putting them in college in situations that would make sense to happen in college. Like, obviously, whatever. I don't know what I'm talking about now. Fuck. This is a little water bottle from Miniso. It's very cute. I very much like it. It's right next to me. That's why I pulled it out. And I love it very much. Go get yourself one. This is a mug I have. Oh, it has a cat on it. I love it dearly. Go buy yourself one. I don't know where you can buy these things. I think that's older than me. So yeah. Urban planning, because that's what this video was about until I started talking about the Vampire Diaries. Also, Twilight. This a quick thing. Leave down below if anyone ever fucking watches this ever, what your favorite movie is, because mine is Eclipse because of the training scene and only the training scene, to be honest, and also the song by Muse that plays in one of the scenes. Beautiful. New Moon was actually asshole. Was like ass. So ass. The first one is good. The last one is good. The fourth one is a bit boring. By a bit boring, I mean fucking boring. It's boring. Breaking Dawn Part 1 is boring. So, like, if I had to rate them, which I'll just do very quickly right now, it's Eclipse, the first one, Breaking Dawn Part 2, Breaking Dawn Part 1, New Moon is over. It's out of my house. It's balls, bro. Actually, it's not entirely balls. The only good part is when she's sitting in her chair and it's going around and it's like, is it, I don't know if it's the song that plays, whatever. And it's the months. I think they did it very well in the books, but like in the movie, it's okay. And then when she's underwater and she sees that redhead bitch, what's her name? Victoria, I think. Yeah, Victoria. And then she's just like, what? Or when she's on the bike and she's, not all of it's ass. There's like quite a few good scenes, but there's a lot of problematic scenes in all of Twilight, but specifically in New Moon, that I hate. Specifically Breaking Dawn, the one with, I can't remember which one it's in, but the one where it's fucking Jacob imprints on a 2-year-old, on a newborn. Anyways, that's the end of this video. Sorry, I went very off topic at the end. But yeah, hope you enjoy. Like, comment, subscribe. Become part of the gang. There's no gang, there's 8 people, but you know, be among the first 20, and I don't know, I'll just say thank you. Anyways, goodbye.